Hello, I am the gaming superhero, and today I am late. I know. Look, when I was originally planning all of this out, I had screwed up the schedule and needed to push the DC videos back a week, meaning that Wonder Woman couldn't come out on the Odyssey movie release, and King Shark is now late for Shark Week, which has destroyed me emotionally. But whatever, nothing to be done about it now. Just this month in particular, my plans were ruined by the reschedule extra hard. But King Shark is still cool on his own, and I am quite excited to get to it. But first, remember to let me know what skins you want King Shark to get if he came to the game for the Wednesday short. And we are officially less than 100 subscribers away from reaching 500 and getting that sweet, sweet special Batman video. So be sure to subscribe. And for those that guessed who this week's character was, on Discord we have Prehistoric Pogfish, Biggle, and Charlie Chicken X. And then on YouTube, we have NASCAR Dickinson 2319. Good job, everybody. Nanaue, aka King Shark, first appeared in Superboy number 0 in 1994. But that was just a last panel tease, so we will jump to the next issue, Superboy number 9. Don't fucking start with me. I do not know why they would randomly number the books like this, where between 8 and 9 they titled it 0, so let's just move on. Also first appeared in a Superboy book, and not an Aquaman book, which is crazy. We open on the legend of Nanaue. In the long ago of Hawaii's legends, Nanaue lived in the Waipio Valley. No one knew that Nanaue's father was king of all the sharks, or that the killer he always warned of was himself. No one knew because Nanaue ate all who disobeyed him. But that was just a legend. It would never happen today. Cut to Superboy on vacation in Hawaii using special X-ray glasses he was given to... well, you know what, but I'm confused because doesn't Superman and thus Boy have inherent X-ray vision? Or is this a clone half Lex, half Superman boy? Anyway, he continues to hang out with people I don't know, and we get confirmation that he is in fact a clone and not a younger Superman. And Nanaue eats a child, or tries anyway. This kicks off the plot when a detective shows up knowing about Nanaue and where to find him, or at least the likely place for him to be. His mother's house. He is not there, but apparently he is a sweetheart carrying a piece of his mother wherever he goes. They search around and find a cave system that has both drawings and the subject. They fight it out underwater, where Superboy can't breathe, and in a panic discovers his perv goggles can also be set to kill, blasting King Shark. Superboy takes a breather before cuffing the king of the sharks, saving the day. We end on one of those moments that make you question if King Shark is actually a demigod or just a mutated person, leaning more towards actual demigod. But that was a fun story, an introduction for King Shark. He didn't say a goddamn word, but he looked cool. The Hawaiian setting was also really fun, and in general, an underutilized location in superhero stories. Is there even a Hawaiian superhero? Like a significant individual one? Not some X-Men glup shitto that doesn't count? With that, let's see how I would add this very prominent Hawaiian supervillain to DC Rivals. I made the large shark man a tank because I am uncreative and needed more tanks for the base roster and just started looking at big characters in DC. And of course, one of the first to come to mind was the big shark man. That is shockingly young. Like, how did he only first appear in the 90s? Deadpool has existed for longer. His primary is a simple melee combo, where he bites people a lot, applying a bleed effect that will have other effects later. I also gave him a movement ability. It is just Jeff's movement ability from Rivals. King Shark can dive into the ground and swim around at increased speed. The difference for King Shark being his swim time isn't limited. He can do it forever, but also, like Jeff, enemies can shoot King Shark while swimming, with it being easier given King Shark's fin is probably going to be bigger. Then the passive makes it so that all bleed effects will heal King Shark from the primary fire and other abilities we will see in the next section. Ability 1 is called Breach. Leap forward, grabbing an enemy and holding them for a few seconds, dealing damage and applying bleed. This ability can be activated straight from his movement as well to really stimulate a breaching shark. This is mainly just a tool for taking an enemy out of the fight for a few seconds so your teammates can take advantage of their absence, or target them to make sure they die from the average mauling from a shark. Examples would be taking down one of the supports so they can't heal the team, or the frontline tank so the team has free shot at the squishier enemies, stuff like that. This does also leave Shark vulnerable, but that is why deciding when and where to use it is important. Ability 2 is called Moisturized. Apply a layer of water around King Shark that increases the healing he receives and reduces the damage he takes for a few seconds. This is a quick and easy way to really start taking some punishment while in the middle of the enemy team. This is good to activate before using the last ability I went over. This gives him some self-sustain, because it isn't great for a tank to be completely worthless on their own. They need to be at least a little self-sufficient. The only real issue is a scenario where you activate this ability and the supports don't heal you for whatever reason. I imagine that being really bad, but generally pretty unlikely, given a lot of supports do default to healing the tanks anyway. The ultimate is called Frenzy, and this also works just like Jeff's ultimate, except without being able to eat allies and heal them. This is more of taking the enemy out of the fight for a few seconds to give your team the advantage, but obviously it could be used like the Jeff ult to kill them by throwing them off the map. The issue is that this is a fictional game that is not real yet. So that while I have made maps for it, is very basic in really only having aesthetics and game modes down. So whether or not maps have as many convenient places for throwing enemies into the abyss is completely up to your own feeling on the matter. I think I would prefer slightly less drop-off points than Marvel, because there are so many, with some maps being worse than others. I think letting the Atlantis map have a lot would be fine though. Kind of like a funny secondary map advantage. As for the primary map advantage, it is called Like a Fish in Water, and when playing King Shark on the Atlantis map, King Shark will heal while in the villain water tunnels. For those of you that didn't watch the initial DC Rivals video and have no idea what that means, Atlantis has special tunnels that only villain characters can enter and use to get around the map. These tunnels will now also heal King Shark. This really helps to keep him alive on his own. Not a whole lot of ways to explain more with the lack of any actual reference points, but you get the gist enough. Tunnels that can be used to travel around. Now, if King Shark uses them, he will heal while using them. So when he gets to wherever he's going, he will have more health. Very simple. Very, very good. I also gave him a team-up with Mira called Ocean's Embrace. This adds a radius to the Moisturized ability that will allow King Shark to heal nearby allies, and it will also heal King Shark a little bit. Not really enough to matter in an actual fight, but enough to make it benefit King Shark, to make it feel like he is getting something out of the deal. I decided to have King Shark and Mira team up because they are both undersea characters, and some continuities do have Mira start off as a villain, so we can say it's the two of them working together like old times, or something like that, something stupid. In general, I wanted to add some more team-ups, and they seemed like they would be cool enough together. And that is how I would add a Hawaiian Sea Demigod to DC Rivals. This was really hard to make. There are only so many ways to have a big shark that splashes and bites people, leading to a pretty simple kit that is pretty similar to Jeff the Land Shark. Still different enough, but still feels a little weird. A lot of simple abilities that are pretty clear. Let me know what you think of this kit. I am running into a problem of not remembering what abilities or ideas I have already used for DC characters, and that has made making these a lot more nerve-wracking. I would hate to basically make the same character twice by accident, especially so early on. We aren't even done with like the base roster yet. But I still think that King Shark as a character is a good choice for the game. It's just a matter of whether I did him justice or not. But I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. Remember to like the video and comment to help the videos. And you're welcome. Shark bait brouhaha.